You know what's coming up next, by the way? A little segment we like to call Prospecting with the Welsh. That's right, everybody. It's time to look at the prospects who are down on the farm, who we might be seeing sooner than later at the major league level. And of course, it wouldn't be a prospecting show, Welsh, without dun 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 Bubba Watch.
Bubba Watch. We will continue watching forever. We'll be retiring before he comes up. Bubba Chandler. So we got to talk about it because, well, and like a twofold piece here, because there's also only so long that we can like continue to do updates. But here's the problem with the most recent update. His last start on the 24th, Bubba was rattling off like 6 no-hit innings, and he finished. He did give up a couple earned runs. He went 6 1/3, 2 earned runs, little walk heavy, and I think that's continuously been his problem. 5 strikeouts, held batters to 178. He has held batters to under a 200 batting average every single start the entire season. Why is he being held back? You can argue, his ability to continuously throw strikes and not walk is really important. He did hit a batter in this one. I think we all know it is some type of a manipulation of like a Super 2 because there was an opening and they brought up Braxton Ashcraft. And Ashcraft is an interesting prospect for sure. He kind of fell down the ranks of like under Thomas Harrington, everything like that. But that was a clear throw in our face that Bubba Chandler is not there and is not ready. Now, there could be timing issues or that they're manipulating. Is it because he is ready? He has gone at least 5 in 2 of his last 3.
It's money. That's all
it is. It's a money situation. So the question, everybody, is Bubba Chandler coming up? Yes, he is going to be up, but it is probably going to align perfectly to that Super 2, which gets probably early-ish June, early to mid-June. I will say there's a little bit of worry with me with the walks. He has had 3 or more walks in 3 of his last 4 starts, which I think is something they're going to watch. And I'm worried he's going to pull some Dylan Ceases in the majors where he fights to get to 5 innings, but he could be striking out 10. He's the most prolific, pitching prospect that we could get out there. And the top 2 guys of him and Roman Anthony, they're there. We're just waiting for the team to push it and make it happen. Bubba Chandler Watch is officially silly at this point after those 6 no-hit innings he was throwing. He's got to be up, and he will be up very, very soon.
Speaking of guys who could be up very soon, can we talk about Jac Caglianone for a second? Holy crap. This guy is absolutely on fire since getting called up to AAA. He is hitting home runs everywhere. Welsh, he does not seem intimidated by the next level. And the only thing that's keeping him away also seems like a service time question, maybe just wanting to get some more at-bats and exposure. Now, I understand one great week does not all of a sudden make for a call-up, but if he continues to do this for the next 2 or 3 weeks, I don't see how the Royals keep him down, especially since they are so bereft of offense. You're talking about a team in the bottom of the league in runs scored. How do they not take a look at Caglianone sooner than later?
Yeah, I think there's some things like maybe in his game that they're still worried about, like the longevity of how, he's going to be able to maintain and hit for contact and stuff like that. But he's making it look silly right now. He's had homers in 4 straight games. I think one of them was a multi-hit homer game. He's done nothing but absolutely crush AAA. He's hitting 346 with 5 homers, a 14% K percentage, which is ridiculous, and a 900 slug. Even better since we're now getting some data. Currently averaging 95 miles per hour on everything hit. He's already put up essentially a 114 max EV hit and over 60% hard hit rate. Here's the other plus. He's playing in the outfield. They threw him out into the outfield already. So I think that tells us a sign of how quick the timeline is going. The thing we talked about a couple of weeks ago where it's like, hey, he could just be up. They could move him from AA. We might kind of look at this like that. I don't know if he plays 5 more games at AAA. If the team just doesn't say, screw it, let's get him up. We don't need the John Raves of the world. We want Caglianone to play a little bit of outfield. He can DH. He can play first. You can kind of learn on the job, and let's get his bat there now. Let's get it here yesterday. I still believe he is coming up pre-All-Star break. Frankly, I wouldn't be shocked if he's up before June, but he's at a level right now where what else is it that you're looking for? It has to only be defensively because he's not striking out, he's making contact, he's hitting everything hard, and he's performing better than probably 80% of your major league roster right now. So Jac Caglianone, we are let's hyper aggressive the pickups. Before it was like, hey, let's speculate in June. Now you should do it right now because no one else is going to let you hold on to him.
No, you have to. I mean, there's a guy in my home league that I've been holding on to since the draft, and I'm just sticking with him right now. Just kind of looking at the roster percentage for Jac Caglianone on CBS currently. That's a pretty good spot because you have so many paid leagues. He's already 56% rostered, so that's including all of the dynasty leagues and whatnot. So it's a guy that you better get on this trade now and stash him because at the very least he has trade value in a deal if the Royals drag their feet, like the Pirates like to do sometimes. Now the White Sox, they have very little incentive to drag their feet. Just bring up the kids and let them try. And Kyle Teel, who is the centerpiece of that Garrett Crochet deal, could be that next one. Let's talk about Kyle Teel, the young catcher for the White Sox.
Yeah, so I would say the first biggest issue is Edgar Quero. You know, they brought up Edgar Quero. They didn't go to Kyle Teel, but Kyle Teel has, you know, he put up a decent amount last year in AAA. I think it was 28 games. He's 43 games in here. He's hitting 293. Average went down. He's popped back up. 7 homers, 4 stolen bases. Something that I think this team can do if you want to start revving this up is if you optioned Andrew Vaughn and you also optioned Tim Elko, I think you can set Teel or Quero, probably Teel, to first base. Let him be a first baseman and a secondary catcher. And not that you need to push players again. You know, this is a team that's not a winning team, but this is also a guy that's, I think, outdone AAA. Like, why do we need, he's already, what is this, 61 games into AAA. I'm not sure how much further you want to keep him down. So I think he could be a first base option. Ks are a little bit up, but he walks. He's hitting for average. He's pushing a 3.45 slash right now, 7 homers, 4 stolen bases. Kyle Teel is really interesting. And he is upticked his AAA from year over year when he was with Boston to White Sox. He's hitting the ball on average 3 miles an hour harder. He's got a 112 max EV showing pure raw power. And he's got a 43% hard hit rate, which is pretty good. So I think we could be seeing him at first base here in the very near future.
All right. Speaking of first baseman, how about Jonathon Long of the Cubs having a really good year so far? 172 at-bats at 2025 AAA level for the Cubbies in Iowa. 6 homers, 37 ribbies, 2 steals for good measure, hitting 355 with a 961 OPS. Those are some fantastic numbers. So what's the path for Long to maybe break in here with the Cubs?
Well, I think the path is the biggest issue that we're staring at, but he has been one of the most prolific minor league hitters so far, hitting 355. I mean, that's up near the top. I think he's in the top 5, maybe top 3 of hits across AAA right now. Those are the type of guys that are going to just get some type of look. You would also argue, like, how long do you keep him down? He's about 50 games into his AAA career, hitting 355 with a 400 slug. I think Jonathon Long's path is kind of dicey with Bush and Matt Shaw, but if Matt Shaw were to struggle and they were to push back, like Bush going to third base, Jonathon Long could come up. The problem would be positionally, I'm just not 100% sure where they'd be comfortable outside of first base. So he also could be a trade candidate. The thing to pay attention to with Jonathon Long, though, makes a ton of contact, has some good raw power, AFL last year, and whether it's a trade asset or there's some type of injury, he's going to get a look here in the very near future, and he might be one of those guys that hits early. Cubs, though, they just got so many guys that can play first base, and Moises Ballesteros and him, and then you got, you know, Michael Bush who's in the infield and Matt Shaw. It makes it really tough, but Jonathon Long is going to get that treatment where it doesn't serve him being down much longer.
Maybe he's a trade chip to get some more pitching because the Cubbies are going to need it. Imanaga
They could use it.
Not enough for that rotation. They need a lot more help if they're going to stay competitive in that central at the top of that division. So that's this week's version of Prospecting in the Welsh. Head over to FantasyPros.com for more prospect news and analysis by the Welsh himself. And of course, make sure you follow us on our YouTube channel, FantasyPros MLB. Let's get to some more baseball. Welsh, what was that